So your name is Gabriella Linardi.
Yes.
I'm saying it right?
Yeah.
You're also barefoot in the Barefoot podcast, and thank you for the time.
Yeah.
And you are from Indonesia.
Yeah.
But where in Indonesia?
Bandung.
Bandung. Where is that?
That's the capital city of West Java.
Okay. Is it touristic?
I would say so.
Okay.
So it's the second largest city in Indonesia.
Oh, fact checks.
I'm checking.
No, that's okay. Of course. I just feel like Bali is like really, man, it's really
Touristy.
how do you say oh my god.
Oversaturated.
Yes, and it's I will find it's like explosion in the media. Like that's all they care about when it comes to Indonesia and the media.
Yeah.
From a Western perspective, like Bali here, Bali that, and so it's not hard to find a lot about you, but there's not too much out there. What I could find.
Yeah.
You are into U.S. politics.
I was in U.S. politics.
You are now in SAS.
Yes.
You are a writer and screenplayer.
Yes.
Writing for screenplays?
Yeah, I work for screenplays and creative writing too.
Mm-hmm.
So my background is in creative writing, but then my stories are very detailed, and I've had people telling me that I should probably write screenplays with it, and I did. And actually, I just came back from location scouting.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, tell me about because I read really briefly online.
Yeah.
Tell me about your childhood, you growing up in between borders, and that also reflecting on your choices of career and there's a subject that somehow aligns there, I think.
So interesting you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because my creative project is the poetry about people like me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's EU funded, and it's the performance launches next week. It won't be here, but it'll be digitalized, so you can read it.
I will see it online.
Yeah, you'll see it online. But anyway, I was born in Indonesia, and then we moved to the US, and then we moved back to Asia. And I went to high school in Singapore. That was kind of like the best time of my life.
It sounds interesting.
And then,
Not a bad place.
I was sent back to the US.
Mm-hmm.
Lived in the US for through my college years, and then I worked for a year, and then went to get my master's, and then I tried to continue working. That's where I was in US politics. And couldn't take it anymore in 2016, so I pursued journalism.
Where did I'm interested in your childhood a bit. Are your parents somewhat artistic? What I could read, not really.
I don't think so, but my dad plays the guitar, and my mom she plays the piano a little bit. I was forced to take violin classes.
You were forced to
take violin classes.
Okay. Do you know why?
Because I don't know. I think so that all Asian
do something.
kids. Yeah.
I see.
Kids, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no, I got that. Yeah, I was.
So I played violin for a good few years.
The guy I was with before was a violin player.
No way!
Yeah. He was been doing it since he was 5 or something. He said it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a classically trained violinist who hasn't touched violins in almost 2 decades now.
Well, I'm sure you learned something from that process.
Oh yeah,
right?
I still can read musical notes. I still when I hear classical music especially, I can picture the notes in my head.
And tell me about you growing up. The schools, it's your parents for work. They are moving a lot.
Yeah, we're moving a lot.
And do you feel like you have your urge? Because you're not starting to create something, even though you play music. You're going more like a political way.
Yeah.
And when do you start writing? Is that?
I've always liked writing. When I was the moment where I that really stood out from my childhood in terms of writing was when I wrote this short story about Tommy who hates tomatoes. I was 7.
Yeah.
And I won the Little Children Story Writing Competition. And that story still sticks with me till today.
Yeah.
And I have ADHD, and I was put on Ritalin since I was 7.
Oh wow.
And whenever I'm on it,
Oh shit.
the words are just gone. Like I was just a vessel who like received things from the outside world, and I wasn't creating things.
Oh yeah.
And in Singapore in high school, I was in a boarding school, and nobody really checked like my doses, whether I was taking pills like on time or not. So I kind of like played a little around with my doses, and that's when I started writing again. I was writing poems and lyrics.
That was on low doses.
I like just skipping days. Yeah.
Amazing. That's such a wow.
Yeah, and the words came out.
Yeah, for sure, because you were clear, right?
Yeah.
You were yourself.
Yeah, I was myself.
Oh wow, you were just numb for a long time. How did that feel? That's also like a mental border where.
I'm pretty sure I fucked up in the head from the Ritalin growing up.
Yeah, for sure. But you tell me about your time in politics.
Yeah.
Tell me where you feel like how did it start?
Yeah.
And where did it lead?
So it's more of like I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah.
Like people always ask me like, what do you want to be when you're good? That's what you ask.
Yeah, I read that one.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, my parents are super religious, so it's like I want to be a missionary, and not because I wanted to like preach the word of God or whatever. It's more of like I get to travel and I get to like go to all these fun places. So it's just like the emotion that really attracts me to that. And then I'm so easily influenced. So I watch a movie and I'm like, I'm gonna be a surgeon. Until I saw blood and I got so scared I almost fainted.
Hey, I'm on your team. I can't do it either. You know, it's sometimes my pinky gets stuck somewhere and I'm like, I'm gonna die in the next 10 minutes. It's like, how does this make sense?
Yeah. And then in 2008, Obama won the presidential election. And I could see myself in him. He lived in Indonesia. He's a third culture kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is for the first time not being a local actually is a reason to try something.
Yeah. Being a missionary somewhat as well, right?
Yeah, being like not being there. So I just thought maybe I can be in politics. Maybe that's something that I can do. And I've always been attracted to like power and like being in the room, like all the secrets that come with politics. So I like worked myself towards it. My parents said like, no, you're not gonna be a politician. What are you gonna do? Like take political science, go like to med school, and they're like, are you crazy? Like I look at blood and I'm like fainting.
Yeah.
But then I convinced my dad. I did like a whole campaign to convince him to like let me go and do political science.
You sold them the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
And I went to DC, and which is the heart of the American politics. I went to school at W, which is right next to the White House. I had a great time. I was interning with the Democratic Party there. After school, I went to work with the Department of Veterans Affairs. And I got bored.
Yeah.
I got bored, and I was starting. Actually, in college, I was taking my ADHD medication. So I was like, okay, I'm focused. After college, I'm like, I don't need to take this medication anymore. So I stopped. And that's when I started pivoting to music. So my friends and I, we love going to EDM concerts. And we decided, why not become promoters? So we started social media and we got into like social media marketing, and I started doing promotion for them for like a year. And
totally different world.
Totally different world. But this is because I was dating somebody in the music industry.
But no borders, right?
No borders.
You have always been across.
Yeah, and we broke up, and I'm like, okay, I'm going back to politics.
And you're still somewhat intrigued, right? You're writing about elections a lot.
Yes.
And where does this interest of elections, is that just more exciting than veterans, or is it just changing something in the world?
So the elections of I think there's a high energy that like draws me to it. You work for like 100 hours a week, and then you're always like on the go. You're always doing something again, but going back to emotions. And you get people who you will never ever meet. Like,
Yeah, no exist
yeah,
as well, right?
yeah. And then in the morning you can be like talking to a politician, like this like really established person. Although like the term of established person, I don't really like it. Like, what does that mean? Like,
Yeah,
a public
yeah.
figure, and then
Yeah,
somebody
probably-
who's like more like invisible in the cult of society, like whatever. But like two different like walks of life, and you can be doing that all in one day.
I see.
Yeah.
And are you shifting more towards just writing, just creating now?
Yeah. So I am doing creative writing, and I want to like do something with my writing that eventually can support me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, creative writing is hard to do.
It does. I think also there's a misconception in this idea that you have to finance your art, your love with what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're working in this software, right?
That's financing my passion now.
Yeah, I think that can be totally fine, right? Maybe that's even the inspiration you need. I think more people need, like, I'm also looking for opportunities where I can do more blue collar kind of jobs or volunteer opportunities, just to have a different perspective. If you're just doing art, sometimes I think you can lose inspiration or ideas. I think there's nothing wrong in having something on the side, not at all.
Yeah.
But do you ever feel like picking up an instrument again, or is it more writing for you?
I was talking to somebody who kind of inspired me to pick up violin again. So far what I've done is I took my violin from the basement to my room.
Hey, that's the first step.
Yeah, it's the first step. And it's now leaning against my wardrobe. Like it has always been my whole life that my violin like leans against my wardrobe. I tried opening it and I look at it and I'm like, I don't feel the melody coming back. So I closed it again. I think one day when the melody comes back, I will play it.
There might be a morning where you hear a bird singing outside and you're like, I want to play right now. Yeah. Then it's right time for it.
During COVID, I tried like play again, but then the melody was just not there, so I was just following the notes, and I'm like, I don't want to play this, and it feels very forced.
But the writing somewhat comes out of you. There's an interest, and it's like, I want to do this.
Words just come to me. I use my phone to like write a lot. Like my best piece actually was written in the toilet of Brookline.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I think that's how it's. Whatever works for someone is what you should do, right?
Yeah.
And which direction are you going with because you have some personal identity stories, you have some politics. Where do you see yourself going with this writing?
Yeah. So.
Is it bringing someone else's ideas into it as well?
I get my inspiration from like my day-to-day conversations with people. Like for example, I wrote about this like concept of people being like stardust, and that was a conversation that I had.
Yeah, I read that before.
On a date that I had. And then another one that's like the art of crying. I was walking home one day and I heard this girl crying. I was like, okay, like I want to write about that. I also have a newsletter.
I need to subscribe to that. Yes,
it's
everybody listening, subscribe to it.
And it's spicy, and I don't want to like. The reason why it's anonymous because of the topics that like the details and the topics that I write in it, and I feel like if people know who I am, they're gonna know what the people that I write about.
Okay, I see.
So I'm keeping them anonymous.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll let you know.
That leaves more room for I think also people reading to create an image or idea of the other. Like I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Also creatively.
It is anonymous. So the subjects that I write on those newsletters, people would ever know who they are.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for using that for future inspiration too and creation.
Exactly. So I use the stories that I write on my newsletter to screenplays.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
So I have 3 scripts that are on production right now, and all 3 of them come from the newsletter.
There you go. So, have you ever thought about, because that's what I think with text medium is interesting. Same with pictures. You take it all digital pictures, right? Do you ever think about making a book about your stories or collaborating it with music or music pieces that fit the drama of your story.
I did that. I did songwriting,
Yep.
and when I was a teenager. Of course, they're like very sappy love songs.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But
maybe when the melody comes back, I'll start writing songs again. Right now, I'm collabing a lot with visual artists.
yeah, that would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that my poems can come to life. Because I feel like people nowadays, they just look at visuals better than they look at text.
Yeah.
And when
There's no dopamine left in our brains, is there?
so like,
I'm simply trying to recreate some receptors up there.
yeah, so like for example, the poetry exhibition that I'm having next week, I have the words, I have the story, but like visualizing it. So I'm collabing with an analog photographer, and I have zero like direction for like how the visual would look like. I told her like this is my concept, like you go along with it.
I think that's the right approach. That's the only way it can be. You've done your job. That's your creation.
Mm-hmm.
She interprets it her way and creates something totally different out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the only artistic way. I would think.
Because when people ask me like, oh, how do you want to present this? I'm like, dude, I have the worst taste for any kind of like visual art.
Also, it's putting borders on it, right?
Yeah.
And you don't like borders.
That's actually a great way to think about it. Yeah.
Why would you limit? You don't like limiting yourself with ideas. You have chosen like a lot of 180 degrees turns.
Yeah.
Why would you tell anyone to be like, no, it needs to be like this and this? It's like, I think that's your personal way of
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I don't know, like do it your way. I don't know.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you can't come with inputs, right? Be like, no, maybe like this. I feel different about it, but it's a collaboration, right? It wouldn't be if it's just one person directing, I think.
Even the poem itself, I'm like, I have no idea how to present it. So I called the art director. I'm like, can you please help me? And she's like, I can't help you. That's your project. And I'm like, can you just help me with like photography or something? I don't know how to present it nice. Because if I do it my style, then it's gonna suck.
It's powerful to ask for help, I think, as well. And we talked about borders, politics. Tell me a bit about working in a SaaS company. Is it just for money? Just tell me broadly about it. Like, what interested you in that direction?
That was the only job that would keep me in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here in Germany.
In Germany.
Okay. And you went from the US to here?
Yeah.
And for the visa, you need a job that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's a very common
I came
thing.
here for the German election in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So I was traveling around with Merkel, and
With her.
yeah.
Oh, tell me about that.
I was just doing election observer. I was like meeting with people from all different political parties, and then in the end, I was writing a white paper with my observation of the election itself and what could have been done better. And since I was a fundraiser in the US, I took a fundraising angle. And that's it.
Well, tell me about tell me about the election. Tell me about what your view is. What frustrated you? What could have been better? What went wrong?
In 2017?
Yes.
For me, like, since I took it from the fundraising angle, I feel like the German election is very German. Everything has a rule. Like, in the US, there's always some kind of like
dodgy way,
gray area where you can channel this money from this one to that one. It's like literally nothing you can do. It's so rigid that I understand why the fundraisers here get very frustrated, and I also understand why there aren't a lot of high money donors. They're always like grassroots. So grassroots is more like a fake here.
Do you think it's good? What do you think is better, having high donors or not?
We're getting political now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a bit of your perspective because I'm really staying a lot out of taking positions, and I try not to influence my views on life too much about whatever is influenced by money out there. How do you think the relationship, not necessarily should be, but you feel about the right relationship between sponsors? Is it then still political, or is it more about money?
I think money should never influence politics. As a fundraiser,
Yeah.
I still think that money should never influence politics, but money should be able to reflect the passion of the donor.
Yeah.
So you can't buy a vote. But then if you really trust the politician to be able to be your voice, then why not give your money if you have the means?
Yeah, for sure. Do you think there should be rules around that? How much you can give? Because then you can have that on the far right, on the far left. Like
in an ideal world, right? I think there shouldn't be like a cap.
yeah.
But
We don't live in an ideal world.
So having a cap is good. But then, like, again, I'm looking at it from a fundraiser perspective. Then I can't meet my goal, and I can't like perform in my work. So yeah, this is not an ideal world. Having a cap is good. Having like a German way of like having rules for the donation is good. But at the same time, I understand why.
Yeah, so not much freedom probably. Do you think that when I look at, without a lot of knowledge, look at the US system, I feel like there's a lot more about entertaining people for votes, while here it's actually, even though it's not always 100% correct information, whatever, there's a lot of mistakes everywhere, right? There's a narrative, everything. I feel like here it's still a bit more real, the way we have our party set up.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still very emotional. That's a lot it's about. But I feel like we still have a fairly okay balance of emotions and facts in interest, maybe.
But I think like the theater of the U.S. politics are starting to come, especially in 2017. Like the
it's coming for sure.
The comms
this year was pretty.
comms consultancy that was working for Trump in 2016 worked for actually in 2017.
Absolutely.
So, like, you can see, like, the messaging are all the same. So, the theater are coming, and these consultant guys, like, I know them. So, I'm going to name them.
Yeah.
I know them, and they're going all around the world where the right are rising.
Yes.
And there are the consultants for the East Shore.
For sure, there's a crowd to feed in Europe at the moment. It's not getting smaller, certainly not. Okay, to get a bit away from politics, I think that's a never-ending.
No. I'm trying to like depoliticize myself, which is why I'm only writing about love.
Yes, let's get into more about that. Tell me about finding identity through art and your life moving borders.
I think that's the journey that I'm on right now. So this is gonna get like heavy.
Go for it.
Yeah. So my identity had always been like what other people told me that I am. Like I was a daughter from cancer.
Yeah.
And then I was professional, I guess, because my parents were a little bit like letting go a little bit when I was working, but at the same time, like I didn't know who I was. Okay, I'm just working, especially in the US. Like when you are, when you have a perfectionist in DC, especially, like people when you meet people at bar, like, hi, like my name is blah. Like, what do you do? Like immediately. So like what do you do? It's your identity.
Yeah.
And then I came to Berlin, and I was like, okay, like this city doesn't care about title.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit anonymous now. But then I met my ex, so I became his partner, and I recently left him, and that's when I started like trying to figure out who I am.
And do you feel like moving here, that it sounds like it has changed your way of seeing identity, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's harder to put yourself in a border of identity now? Is it just, are you just something in the universe now where you can't put a job title on yourself anymore?
I don't know who I am yet, but I know like the quality that I want to have. I want to be brave. I want to have grace, and I want to have a little fire in me. And like with these qualities, I feel like this should be like good building blocks to my identity. Actually, my best was great consultant for like self-image and like branding and finding who you are. And we did a little workshop when she was here last month of like finding the Gabriella blueprint. And oh my god, that was the hardest workshop I've ever been on because I don't know. Like when she asked me all these questions, I'm like, dude, I don't know.
I think the point is not knowing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know who you are, you can only find out.
Yeah.
And I think what I feel in Berlin is you don't need to know who you are. You don't need to be this title, this I'm this and that. It's just I feel here it's a city where you get asked more how you're feeling than how you're like doing or what you're doing. But do you think this is just the community of people here who do different stuff, or do you think there's just as much community back home?
Definitely Berlin is a place to like where
yeah.
I mean where's home also, right? So where's home? Like I don't know where home is. Like is it where my parents are? Is it,
what's gonna be my next question? Are you ever thinking about going home? But where?
Yeah, but where's home? Like is it where my parents are? Is it where or the place where I like most fond of? Is it like when people ask where I'm from, like I'm like, do you want to know where my accent is from? Because I can tell you where my accent is from, but not where I'm from. So like, if I think about DC, definitely not the place. DC is very like fast paced, and you really wanna.
Industry.
Yeah.
Getting up the ladder. I like to say that when people in Oslo ask me, hey yo dude, where are you from? I'm like, here, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm right from here. It's like, you came from over there from the entrance and now I'm here, you know?
Yeah.
Where are you? You're also here. It's like, sure, I might be from a place on this earth, but I mean, I still come from the ground, or you know, same earth as you, hopefully, or maybe not. Who knows? Do you feel like writing has helped you, or it certainly has helped you discover more about your identity?
Definitely. Like I feel like so the reason why I started writing was so I left my ex. It was a bad relationship, and actually at that time when I was with him, I was taking Reddit the whole time, but my frequency was blocked. I wasn't creating, and that's crazy to know that the person that you're with can block your creativity.
Do you think he was actively blocking it, aware, or was it just not the person who allowed you to release the frequencies?
Because like I don't think it was like, oh, you're not allowed to write, but it's like just like his behavior, like what he let me do and not do.
Okay.
Like the approval.
Controlling. Yeah. Okay.
And but also it's from me, right? I was like seeking approval from him, and when he's like not giving me approval, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like shift myself in a way that would fit his mold.
Yeah. But there's a teaching in everything, right?
Absolutely. Like this is my era of not shrinking to fit anymore. I've been shrinking to fit my whole life, to fit that box of a daughter, to fit that box of a professional, and to fit the box of a partner. And now I'm like out, and I'm like, okay, like what is my shape? I'm a ditto now. Yeah.
Which wave am I flowing with?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you ever thought about other mediums than writing? You ever interested in visual art, because that would go hand in hand very well, right?
I have the worst. It's like style. Like I have the worst.
So maybe that's the best.
Like I don't know. I still think Comic Sans is the best typography.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like I meet painters who say it's just about being a child, paint like a child, because that's the true you, right? Yeah. So I think whatever you want to explore, just try it. Like I never felt like I'm a good painter, but then I start like just trying sketches and you do it a little bit. You can just have this urge.
Yeah.
Walk me through your writing process. Like you get this inspiration on the street. Do you start writing immediately? Or are you?
No, I start. So if I'm doing something that I keep like repeating to myself, like the words.
Okay.
The words would come. It was like in the conversations, even like I was sometimes like, oh wait 1 second, let me write that down. Like yesterday, for example, I had a coffee with a friend, and then he said something about. Yeah, I know I come with a lot of problems, but at least I'm fun. And I'm like, wait 1 second, let me write that down.
That's really, I can see immediately how that. Yeah.
So, like just when I walk into my notes app is literally like full of like.
You do memos also, or is it?
No. I'm trying to be okay with the way I sound. I never really liked the way I sound. I think it's because people have a time like, you sound so annoying. And now I'm like, okay, like I can actually read what I wrote. Like before I came here, I was reading my script to my crew.
Okay.
And I'm like, and everyone was like listening to me. I'm like, yo, this is the first time ever that it's like a room full of people listening to me, like reading the script. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like,
I think it's about finding your, your circle, and that really helps you you be free in your identity, without expectations, without this need of proving anything. And wow, I'm very interested to see where you're getting with this in the future. Let me ask you about art in general. What would you describe art is? How do you feel when you think about art? What does art mean to you?
So, I think it's something that you create from within yourself, and like that, it's gotta be a blueprint about you somewhere in there.
Okay.
Like your fingerprint, and like something that you create. That's one of the things in the world that is not created by the world. It's created from within you.
Okay.
Like it's created in your brain, your soul, your spirit, however you want to
whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So art is
like a little universes from like you as a human that you put out to the world, and it's like, hey, this is my world. Come look at it.
So art is somewhat like a perspective, your inner.
It's kind of like a window into your soul.
Okay, so art is a window of your soul, or a mirror, or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can say so much about a person from looking at their art. Like, I know a lot about a painter from looking at their painting.
Yeah, for sure.
You can, like Van Gogh has something in his mind from like the way he the brush strokes. So,
yeah, you can see this guy has been through hardship. This guy has taken a lot of drugs. This guy has partied a lot.
Yeah.
This guy is funny. I totally agree, especially with painting. I think.
And just from conversations too. Like I feel like when you talk to somebody, you can kind of like notice, like pick up like body language and like word choices. But then that you would need to be with that person at that time, right? But when it comes to art, like it's kind of having a conversation with that person, but then it's in a different medium. What?
Yeah, totally. It's them. I think art is something where you put yourself super vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
But also doing that, and then just personally, I think it's good to just get it out there and forget everything about it. Because that way you can go to the next or find new ways to view things.
Yeah.
I think so too. It's like, it's reading your text. I could see that there's no bothers in your life, and you always question identity. That's super interesting. Considering that being art, what would you say makes someone an artist?
Everyone's an artist, I feel. They just have to find it within them. I didn't think that I was an artist, but the words have always lived within me, and I just didn't let it come out.
Do you think an artist always has this need to express something, or can it just be for fun? Is there a need to change? For you, it feels like there's a need to not change something dramatically, but maybe just a small view on life, or the baby's crying, just changing the perspective, finding meaning.
You also don't need to change anyone's perspective. You can also name something that nobody ever named before.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a way to like teaching perspective, but could also,
I'm just asking you.
And like one thing can also be like different angles, right? And then you can resonate with one person, another person will resonate with them. I think the job of artists is just like naming something, like putting kind of like a frame to an object or subject to whatever is within you, and then presenting it. I think the part of presenting is like the important part, because how would you know what your art, other people know what your art is if you don't present it?
Yeah, that would be my next question. Do you think an artist needs to actively seek an audience, or does it have to be a big audience? Where is the importance of artists, and do you think there's more to having a bigger audience? Do you think that it's better to have a small, or is it very dependent?
I feel like you don't need a big audience to be an artist. I was writing my newsletter. That's like a part of my creative writing, like this phase, because I think I have phases of my creative writing. So there are times where I just like didn't write at all. For this phase, I started writing for like 2 people, and then 3, and then it just like became more and more.
Yeah.
And it's not that I wasn't an artist at the time when I had 2 subscribers. I was an artist too. But it is nice to have a bigger audience, because then you get like more positivity, like more like good feedback for me.
No, it's okay. We will finish in shortly. No problem.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense for sure.
That's great.
When you meet an artist,
Yeah.
do you feel a difference between how it? Do you think artists get influenced by the audience they have too much, or like?
I certainly do get influenced
Exactly,
by my
yeah.
audiences.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have started writing screenplays if it wasn't for my subscribers telling me like, why don't you start writing
Yeah.
screenplays? And I'm like, you really think I can do that? They're like, yes.
Okay, that's awesome. And let's get to the last question before we get started. If your inner voice had a message to the world, what would it say?
Don't shrink to fit.
Okay. Thank you so much for this conversation. Let's finish this up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Let's just